back to, whoa, that was crackly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw. If you're new here, then welcome. It's lovely to meet you. And if you're already existing, then hi guys. Welcome back. So I'm Rosie Henshaw, and today I'm bringing you a Valentine's wreath tutorial. Now, I've done one for autumn with all pumpkins and stuff in. I've done one for Christmas. And I'm doing one for Valentine's before I have to do one for Easter. Now, I use the same wreath every single time. Grab yourself some nice little hot drink or some snacks. Mine's in my little yummy mummy mug from Home Bargains. I've got a blackcurrant. I'm actually filming this video earlier than I would have done. So I'm up the table filming a Poundland haul, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to make my wreath now, get it all ready on the door. So I thought I might as well film it and share it with you guys. So the thing I'm going to start with is my wreath. Now, this is the wreath I use for all of my wreaths. It's just a eucalyptus wreath. I got mine online and it cost me around about £38 I paid for it, but it really is weatherproof. It's stayed for a long time. But I know you guys have a lot of wreaths left over from Christmas, and I know a lot of you made the one at autumn and at Christmas, so you may already have your one purposed. I've took all of the decorations off that I had on it for Christmas, so it's just a nice fresh wreath now, ready to use. This is artificial, obviously. And yeah, I've got my wreath. Now, at Christmas time, I decided to add some roses to my arrangement. So I've still got the roses left over. Now, these were on a big, long stem for about £2.50 from the range. And you got 3 on a stem. And they're really lovely. They're velvet. Sorry, my battery again. Getting terrible with the battery again. So they were velvety. So I've kept those. But also got these from the range. Now, they have a packet of red roses. You do get an extra stem, but I've just pulled one off to see how easy they would come off. So you get 6 of those head stems, and yeah, they're really lovely, velvet covered ones again, in a nice deep red. So not like cheap looking, they look expensive. The only problem is the leaves and the stems, I didn't realise this, actually come up black, a bit Halloweeny. But we're not going to be having none of this in our wreath anyway. So for £4.99, I've got myself a bunch of these roses. They do a bunch of roses in Home Bargains for £1.99. They're not as deep red, and I believe they're not velvet covered. I use them in my hat box flower arrangement, the little artificial one. But because I've already used them, I can't use them now. They're in my little hat box to stay out. So if you want to get some, they're only £1.99 from there. So what I'm going to start off with is yet again with this. So I look at my wreath and I kind of think, what sort of thing do I want to add to this year? How do I want to sort of make it look Valentine's-y? And I thought red roses are a given. They're throughout the year lovely. So I'm going to start adding a few red roses. Now, I normally add a little bit of extra foliage to this, but I'm not going to be able to. I didn't know that the stems were black, but it will all come together in the end anyway. So the roses that I got at Christmas time, I'm just going to start to re-add those back in. Now what I do is I just push them through the front to the back. So you can see at the back it sort of pops through, and I just sort of wrap it in on the metal frame. I don't glue these in because, like I say, I do these every season. Oh, my hair's getting cold. So I don't want to fill these up and then not be able to rearrange them. I did get a small little bud one with these, so I'm going to place that quite near the big rose so it looks like it's a bunch that's blooming. And I just hope that my battery doesn't die. But I just want to show you, these videos tend to be really quick. They are really quick to make these little like wreaths. So I've got a little bud in there. So these are what on, if you made the Christmas wreath with roses, because I know some of you sent pictures, take all the other foliage up, but leave the roses already in there. There's no point taking them out to reposition them. And then I'm going to add another one up here, so it's the same sort of colouring. Because I'm going to add roses all the way around this, and then I've got like a nice little thing to change it up to make it a little bit more Valentine's-y. So I'm adding the roses. Now on this stem of roses, if you get the stem and you just hold the bud together and pull it off, you end up with like a little red, a little stem, like a little metal one that's twistable. So I've popped a couple out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap these on to the actual stems that are there. So I'm going to get one of my eucalyptus stems and just wrap the metal round it to keep it on. I've literally pulled a eucalyptus out. Well, all right, a little bit closer to the base then, To be fair, I have had this for like 2, nearly 3 years, so maybe I'm just due another wreath. But how much it's saved me throughout the years is ridiculous, because I used to go to the florist to get fresh ones. So I'm just going to add loads of roses going around. They are really lovely, these roses. And like I say, you can just reuse these. I'm going to try and cluster them. Wherever I put them, I'm going to just try and make little clusters all the way around, rather than just spreading them the whole way around. And I make little clusters. And I like one side to naturally be a little bit more heavy than the other. So I'm going to use this side to be the heavier side. I'm going to pluck another one out. Don't forget to hold the whole thing, because otherwise it might come apart like that one did. It's fine, because we can just use a little bit of florist wire. That's fine, that one's come out lovely. To just tie that one on. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe another one there. I like odd numbers though, so I wasn't sure whether to do it into the section of the 3. And then, like, I'm just, when it comes through, just bending it over the wire at the back so it keeps it secure. And then I'm going to do another little one there just to make it into a 3. Another one. Just done it again. I might actually have to be able to show you how to do it with florist wire. I haven't even bought none of my florist wire in. I will just reuse this. Pop it in the end. Pop it back in. It's going to let me. So these are the good things of these videos. They're trial and error. So when you do it yourself, you won't think, oh, do you know what, I'm completely failing. You'll see that it's quite normal to get these a little bit muddled up. So I'm going to add this to more the edge. So sort of like bring it out towards the back of the wreath. We'll pop this one around the edge. And then just bring it back, the metal wire, so it stays into place. And I'm going to want to add a little bit more here to sort of bring around that top heavy. So I'm going to try and pull that wire out again and do the same thing as what I've done, just popping it back into the bottom of the rose. Yeah, it's worked a little treat. As I can see on the camera, I'm just going to pop that one there and wrap it back. And then I'm just going to put one here to wrap it up. Another bit of this, the metal out, and yet again just pop it back in the bottom. You might not do that, I'm a little bit heavy-handed. Popped it back in the bottom, but it's plan again. And then just pop another one, I'd say, yeah, about there. Push it all the way through, the metal wire will come around the back. Pop it through the wire, and then just bend it back on itself towards the front, and it'll keep it secure. So now we've got like the roses in place. I really like how that looks. It looks really like Valentine's Day, really like full of love, I love it. But what I'm going to do to make this look a little bit different is, if anyone remembers, from the pound shop, I got a lovely little plaque. It was in my homemade gifts video, like making Poundland stuff look expensive. And they had a wooden plaque and it had 3 little hearts hanging from it with little hope, love, faith. And I said we could use these to put to candles or use them. I'm going to use them today, but if they don't have them in there still, not to worry, they do loads of little wooden hanging hearts in most places. I've got these ones, for example, for £1 each from the range, and you could paint them or leave them rustic. You can get them in card or paper, it hasn't got to be anything, but to make them last a bit longer outside, I would recommend wood or clay. I did also do a Christmas decorations video for Christmas, you might remember it if you watched it, and I got this air drying clay. You can get this from most shops that do like, what's it, crafting? Yeah, what is it called? Yeah, it's crafting, isn't it? I was gonna say like DIY or something. They do a lot of like craft accessories or hobby craft, they sell this in, but I got mine from the works and I paid £4 for a massive bag of it. And you roll it out, use a little heart cookie cutter, let it dry. It'll take a day to dry properly, and you can put a little hole in with a pencil at the top and hang these from your wreath. My video is still up on my YouTube channel if you'd like to have a look. But if you want to make some of your own, you can, and you could even stamp the initials of the people that you want, sort of like their initials on the wreath. That'd be really cute. But I'm just going to use the ones that I got from the pound shop, off the wreath, off that garland thing that I got. So I got 3 of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and tuck these in. So just add a few little hearts. I think it would look quite cute. So I think I'm just going to add a few little hearts. push them through. I might need to glue these actually with a little bit of glue. Bertie, what are you doing, you silly pup? Silly pup. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to put my hot glue gun on. While we're waiting for that to do that, I'm going to show you something else that I'm going to add to the wreath. So I'm going to wait for that to go on, and we're going to add the hearts. But what I want to do is, I want quite a flimsy sort of shabby chic look to this. So I don't want a big massive bow on this. You can, at Christmas I've done a big massive bow, like a big gold one with a wide edge. You can copy that and do that if you'd like to put it on this one. But I'm just going to use a little bit of ribbon that I got from the range. It's very thin and cream with like a red stitch down the middle of it. Very shabby chic looking, and I want to tie it quite loosely on the bottom of this. Bertie, what are you doing? Silly boy. Being a silly boy. I'm just going to tie like it round one of the stems. And I want to add this and make it look quite flimsy. Now this would be beautiful if you've done this in like white roses, or if you're having a winter wedding, do it in red roses or blush colours. But these would be really nice to make for a wedding as well. I want it quite flimsy, quite like rustic looking. You could add a few of these down there, you could add like more. I want quite a flimsy bow at the bottom. We'll see how it looks once we've finished it, but I know the sort of look I had in my head. Whether or not I'm going to be able to achieve that is a different story. We will see. That's good that I had the hot glue gun on, because I'm going to need the hot glue gun on anyway. I'm going to need to do it. I'm going to need it on. Where's my glue sticks? And the reason I'm going to need it on is because I've got something else to glue on this. So while I'm doing that, I might as well show you. Now, also in the range, in the craft section, they also sell these lovely little decoupage little letters. So I got an R, they're only £1 each, they're quite nice sizes. I'm going to leave mine the card because I think they look a little bit rustic and a little bit country looking. Now, if you're going to hang this on the front door, I would recommend taking these with a gloss and really seal these maybe with a varnish so they can't get wet, because they are made of cardboard. But I'm going to hang mine on my internal door, like my porch door, so it won't get wet. You will be able to see it through the glass of the front door, but I don't want it getting wet, and I'm not going to be sealing these, because like I say, I quite like leaving these rustic. So they're £1 each, it cost me £3, and I got a G for Gary, R for Rosie, and a little ampersand. Is that what it's called? I don't know. And I just thought it would be really cute to add this, because where it's Valentine's, I'm declaring my love for Gal, I thought it'd be a sweet idea. Oh, to add these. So I'm just going to take the stickers off and try not to rip the actual card. Oh. So the bow, I don't want it to look too professional, because I want it to look a little bit flimsy and a little bit romantic and just look quite cute. So that's the sort of look that I'm trying to go for. You can sort of have a fiddle about with it, see whether you like certain things with it, see how you get on with it. But if you don't like it, you can always have a play around and change it up, because it isn't permanent. Even this hot glue, because them leaves on that are quite waxy, you can peel it off easy. So a stick for the duration you want it on for. And then, is my hot glue gun hot now enough? Yes, it is. Amazing. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to add a few of the hearts. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glue to the end of the twine. And just wrap it around the end of the twine. And then shove it into one of the leaves and just stick it onto it. And then you start to get your little hearts hanging. I'm going to put them facing out the plain way, but you can have them with the little letters on them, or you could paint these in red or pink or any colour that you like. But these were the little 25p signs in the pound shop. They are still in my one. I'm not sure if they are in anyone else's. I remember a few people getting them when I showed them in my last video. So I'm just going to stick that one in as well. Hold it down while it's drying. Now, if you went and had a floral arrangement done, it would cost you a lot more money than it would do to just make one at home. And yes, you can start hanging all the little hearts. I want it to look a little bit shabby chic. I don't want it to look too perfect like the Christmas one was, or the autumn one was. I want it to look a little bit like, you know, like it's just been thrown together, really quirky. You can sort of add like a proper bow to this, like I said, and make it more professional looking. Just glued the end of that one as well. And I'm going to add that one round here, and you'll see why. Hold that one on. And you'll see why. You get a little bit of hot glue stuck to you and sort of like fraying out, but once it's completely dry, you can go over and just sort of like pull all the little tacked bits off after. Now what I'm going to do now is, because I think this looks really, really sweet, I'm going to add the G and all the letters to it. I don't know why, but I really sort of like love the look of something like that. So I'm going to lay that down, and I'm just going to put some hot glue. You could do a little bit of florist wire with this if you wanted. Got to put another glue stick in. Just glue on the back of it, quite a bit of it to keep it in. Oh, my hearts fell off. And press it on as hard as you can until it dries. And then I'm going to add the ampersand. Add some glue to that. I'm probably thinking now I should have done these gold. For some reason I'm feeling gold, or like a champagne colour. These might even be too big. They're probably too big. Do you know what? And they're like not sticking how I want to. They'd probably be better having them on florist wire, and you can sort of twist them round, because I'd rather twist that a little bit out, twist that a little bit like that. Like, so they're going outwards, so it sort of like goes round in a circular, so it still keeps the circular form. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my R as well. And then I'm going to add my R. Now this is so full on and over the top, but I think Valentine's is, so it doesn't really matter. You haven't got to, no, I'm losing my ampersand now. I'm losing my ampersand. These have got to be done with florist wire. I thought I'd try and be lazy and be like, do you know what? Just tie them on with that. We can even get a little bit of twine and tie them on, because the glue is just like, do you know what? We're rejecting it. We're rejecting it. Oh no, they are stuck. I thought I was losing my ampersand then, but I weren't. That was me just being ultra dramatic. So let's add the other little heart back on, the one that fell off because I obviously didn't hold it on for long enough. Let's stick it in to one of the leaves and actually press it on the leaf so it stays on. And it isn't too late once they're on. You can still give them a little bit of a paint while they're on, just slightly. Just make sure you don't go on the actual wreath. And we can move these out. It looks so over the top. So probably maybe not with the G and the A and the R. They probably are a little bit too big for this. But I know what idea I was thinking of. I know what I was going for. But look how easy they just pop off. They don't damage the wreath. These are just a few ideas. So I'm thinking I might just go for the look of the hearts and the roses. So I could just add a few more roses around this side. And yeah, maybe even a few little like different styled hearts we could add to this. So I'm just going to add a few different roses now. Add a few different I've got. So these are slightly lighter. These are the ones from Home Bargains. I weren't going to raid these, but I'm actually raiding my hat box now for it. So we're going to add a few different light coloured ones, because Rose, this is trial and error. I've said this before. It's so trial and error. Don't worry about it. So I'm just going to add some light ones throughout to sort of blend it up and add loads of roses all the way round. But you could add some like little bits to it. You can add a few more red roses, have a few of the lighter ones. And I can always push them back into my hat box once I'm done. Add one like there in the top heavy part. Just push loads in. Add loads of roses to this. Dropping glue sticks now. What's that song? Oh Mandy, I was thinking, oh Rosie, and you came and you found at your wreath. And you wanted to put it up today, oh Rosie. Oh, if you don't make yourself laugh, what can you do, eh? Nothing. Just add loads and loads and loads to this, loads of flowers. I always get asked, Rosie, can you show us what the finished look is? Because you don't. You just sort of go off on one and sort of like to do your own thing. And then don't show us the finished look. And then I have to show you in the next video because I end up making it too long. Because I get brainwaves. I'm like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to add that instead. It's because things are failing. I try and like play it cool. But it's not failing, but it secretly is. Push that one back through. It's just fiddly at the back, just pushing them through. It is really easy. Push them through. My battery's not having none of it. It's like, Rose, stop now. And then perhaps you could just add one initial. So perhaps I could add like a H to this. So our last name. So rather than having, you know, the typical, all the letters, you could just add your initial for your last name. I just want to quickly show you, because that's a big wreath if you're going to make a big wreath. Obviously, I'm going to have a little fiddle with it, but my battery's running out and I wanted to film it and most of that's stuck on, so I don't want to really take it off. I want it to be authentic. But if anyone remembers at Christmas time, I went to the charity shop and bought some of these like hearts. They had Christmas things on, I cut them off. This time of year, they're so easy to get hold of, these like willow hearts. They do them in the range and they do these big ones. Or you could even make them with twigs yourself by tying them together and then bending them round and then tying them at the bottom. I always updo this one as well as my other wreath around the house. This is my indoor wreath and I just add a few bits to this. But what I thought is if you want to add a little bit of valentines, you don't want to go full out of a full wreath on the door, you could always just get like any twig hearts or any accessories that you kind of got hanging around the house and just add a few little roses to these. It just brings in a little bit of Valentine decor around the home. You could go up like the sides of this, a few little rosebuds that look really, really cute. If I can actually do it. Do you know what my problem is I've done this, it's on a whim. I weren't meant to be doing this today, and then I just decided last minute I'm going to do it, and I'm going to film it at the same time. I've not got none of my florist wire ready. I just sorted out of my like craft stuff the other day, so it's like right at the back as well. Because I thought I'm not going to need florist wire. What would I need florist wire for? But you do, evidently. Need florist wire, Rosie. Just add a few roses, and yet again you could add a little heart to this little heart. It would look really, really cute. I think Valentine's is the time where you can just play around, because it isn't like, I feel like Christmas is quite high maintenance. I like my decorations to look perfect. Easter, I'm the same. October, like autumn, I love all the pumpkins and stuff. I'm kind of the same. But I think with Valentine's Day, you can afford to be a bit more rustic and a little bit more messy, because it's like just love, isn't it? You can just do different things. So if you want to make some of these wreaths, obviously you actually finish your wreaths. Unlike me, I'm just going to put loads of roses the whole way around on this one now. And do you know what? Now I'm not going for that. I'm probably going to take that bow off. I think that's best, Rose. I think that's best for everyone if you just take that bow off. I know what you was aiming for, darling, but it just wasn't working. So I'm just going to add roses the whole way round this now, and just add loads of lovely little hearts all the way round. Add a few more of these little hearts all the way around, so it's going to be roses and hearts, and that will look really, really cute. So just little food for thought, little ideas what you can make for Halloween, I was going to say. For Valentine's Day, hang them up. That is like, I want that ribbon. Oh, do you know what? It might even work on this one. Little bit of ribbon on that. But I've been Rosie Henshaw, and I better go because I don't want to make the video ridiculously long. But hopefully you've had a few ideas of what to do with some wreaths. So take care, have a lovely rest of your week. Bye!